David, I'm sitting here with two Shirley Muldownys. To drag racing fans all over the world, this is the genuine article. Shirley Muldowney, two-time Top Fuel world champ. But to moviegoers, starting in the spring of next year, this lovely actress, Bonnie Bedelia, will be Shirley Muldowney, a feature motion picture starring Bonnie playing Shirley. Welcome to the Gatornationals. And fans are already mistaking you for Shirley, even with the light hair.
A couple of times. I think fans who probably don't look too closely at the pictures.
It's going to be quite a challenge to play a woman who has accomplished so much.
Yes, I think it's always probably difficult to play someone who is a legend of any sort, but to have a living legend who you're playing, there's a little more added pressure.
Okay, what do you think? It's got to be tough looking at somebody who's going to portray you. Have we got a winner here?
Oh, definitely. I don't think it's going to be hard for Bonnie at all. I've watched her around the races, something that was very foreign to her before a couple weeks ago, and she's just fit right in. She's adapted, and she knows what's going on out there, so I think it's going to be easy for her.
Okay, thank you, and good luck in the Gatornationals competition.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it.
And we're looking forward to seeing the film, The Life Story of Shirley Muldowney, next year.
Thanks, Steve, and what a great story that should be. But the story here at the Gatornationals is the semifinal round of Pro Stock Eliminator. Thus far, we've only been watching nitro-burning supercharged cars. Now we'll take a look at the ultimate factory hot rod, the Pro Stock. It'll be Roy Hill matched against Frank Iaconio in this semifinal round. It'll be an 82 Charger here in the near lane, driven by Hill against Iaconio and his flying Chevrolet, the number 2 qualifier, at a 7.83 second elapsed time. Hill qualified number 8 at a 7.96, and remember, these cars are carbureted, running on gasoline. Some rules changes this year have picked up the pace considerably as we see Frank Iaconio with a big lead right off the starting line. And Frank extends that margin of victory as he crosses the finish line about 3 lengths ahead at a 7.90 second elapsed time. Frank Iaconio winning over Roy Hill. The remaining pair in the semifinal round, the white Camaro, is the car driven by the number 1 qualifier, Lee Shepard, for the team of Rare and Morrison from Arlington, Texas. The big number 1 on the window indicates this man, Lee Shepard, is not only the number 1 qualifier, but the reigning world champion. He'll be racing Pat Musey out of New Jersey, qualified number 3 at a 7.89. But that 7.77 second elapsed time by Shepard in qualifying established a new national record. He also ran over 177 miles an hour. The pair of Chevrolets blast off the starting line, and this is a close race. It's too close to call at this point. At the finish line, it's Lee Shepard by about a half a car length, 8.02 second elapsed time. His speed, 174 miles an hour. As we watch again, both cars come off the starting line side by side. At this point, it's tough to tell who's ahead. As they head on down the racetrack, it's even tougher. And only when they get to the finish and we stop the action, 0.03 of a second quicker, Lee Shepard over Pat Musey. In the finals of Pro Stock Eliminator, a pair of Chevrolets, Lee Shepard and Frank Iaconio. In addition to the professional action that we've been watching, several other categories of competition were contested at the Gatornationals, known as sportsman racing. In Stock Eliminator, 34-year-old Joe Moore won his second major title, defeating Kenneth Horn. In Super Stock Eliminator, it was 42-year-old Joe Scott winning for the 4th time over Ron Baker. Super Gas saw a first-time winner, Jim Carlton, defeat Joanne Iarussi. Another first-time winner in Competition Eliminator, Steve Green defeating Paul McCure. In the final of Pro Comp Eliminator, the Alcohol Dragster of Don Woosley against the Alcohol Funny Car of Bob Gottschalk, the winner, Don Woosley. For the 3rd year in a row, the Pro Stock Motorcycle Final came down to Mike Keat and Terry Vance, and for the 2nd consecutive year, Terry Vance, the winner at the Gatornationals. Diamond P Sports offers its congratulations to all the sportsman champions at the Gatornationals. 7 great winners who have emerged from over 600 entries. Steve Evans has had a chance to catch up with one of the finalists in Pro Stock.
Dave, for the second time in 2 national events this year, the finalists are Frank Iaconio and Lee Shepard. This is Frank, but there's no Lee. And I have a feeling the Rear and Morrison team are working on that car because tire shake has set in and it has really slowed down, giving you an advantage.
Yeah, Steve, first round they ran pretty good. I mean, they went a 786, which isn't too bad. It's a little off their 777, but second round they went a 820, I think, or an 8.
No, way off.
Yeah, I mean, it was way off.
And you've got consistency going for you, right? An 89, a 90, a 90?
Well, I guess, you know, it looks like my car likes the track, you know, and them and a couple other people who had a lot of trouble.
Before we get to that exciting final in Pro Stock Eliminator, stick around because coming up next, the semifinal rounds of Top Fuel Eliminator and Funny Car at the Gatornationals. Back to racing at the Gatornationals with Top Fuel Eliminator. And the huge crowd on hand has a sentimental favorite to cheer for here. It'll be Big Daddy Don Garland's just down the road in Sefner, Florida. That's a suburb of Tampa, going against Portland, Oregon's Jim Bernard. Here we see Bernard doing a burnout. In slow motion, you can watch the tires grow and smoke as they get hot, literally burning the rubber to get the compound as hot as possible to provide as much traction as can be available for these 2,500 horsepower Chargers. For Garland's, we saw the round before. He ran a 5.72 second elapsed time. That's the low ET of eliminations thus far, and he thinks he's got it all figured out. Jim Bernard enjoying one of the great days of his long career. He races mostly in the Northwest. This season has decided to go on the national tour and is here in the semifinals in Florida against the all-time winner in Top Fuel racing, Big Daddy Don Garland's. Both drivers concentrating intently on the Christmas tree, each trying to gain a slight starting line advantage. And the advantage goes to Garland's. He smokes the tires, but so does Bernard. A close race, but Garland's pulls it out at the finish line, but he hurts an engine. So does Bernard. 5.94 seconds for Garland's, 234 miles an hour, off the pace just a bit. Watch the whole shot. Garland's leaving on Bernard. The tires smoking, losing traction. But as he progressed down course, he extended his lead, but he also hurt the engine. Steve?
For the 4th time in his career, Big Daddy Don Garland's from the state of Florida goes into the final round of the Gatornationals. No one's ever done that before.
Well, we've been working hard. That's all I can say. We just do the best we can. The lane was hurt. The car moved around real bad.
And the engine is hurt a little bit now, you think?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Don Garland's not looking quite the happy man he was after round number 2. He's got some work cut out for him to go into the finals against one of these 2 racers. It will be either Shirley Muldowney with her son, John, serving as a crew member along with crew chief Ron Tobler, directing his mother back into her own tracks, trying to find that best spot of traction on that tricky starting line. Her competition will be Connie Kaleda. Kaleda, coming into the semifinals, has had a great series of races. He defeated the world champion the round before as Jeb Allen fell to Connie Kaleda, the owner of a flying service. Several airplanes he owns. He races on the weekends and is doing an outstanding job, having won as far back as 1964 a Winter Nationals title. So here in the semis, it is Shirley against Connie. The burnouts are finished and Kaleda off the starting line ahead of Muldowney, but something going wrong, and Shirley Muldowney wins the race. She also hurts an engine, but look at the time, 5.90 seconds. She's 0.04 of a second quicker than Don Garland's. She will have the lane choice going into the final round. As Shirley pulls off the track, all eyes of this crowd are on the starting line as you hear in the background the 2,500 horsepower nitro-burning engines of the Funny Cars as we get ready for the semi-final round of Funny Car Eliminator. Steve Evans has had a chance to catch up to Shirley.
Shirley Muldowney informed down here, Dave, by the turnaround crew that she ran 5.90, and as you've already said, that gives her lane choice, and that could be quite a factor in this drag race as the track conditions are changing every 5 or 10 minutes. It was interesting to note that Don Garland's had lane choice and took the left lane. Shirley Muldowney had lane choice and took the right lane. Why?
Again, Ron Tobler's decision, but what happened to Big Daddy's combination?
Yeah, I wondered, he's very upset with his engine. He said they just missed the combination and burned it up pretty good.
Well, I thought I heard him say second round that he had to race one already. That's a little bit premature.
You got something to say about that, huh?
Yeah, I will say something about it final round, I hope.
It's always a classic confrontation when you and Garlits get together. There's no love lost in this relationship.
Yeah, but I don't hate him. I respect him, and he knows I respect him, but he just doesn't have enough respect for my guys. That's his problem.
All right, Shirley Muldowney, I'll tell you, this is for blood.
Steve, you talk about an intense competitor. That's Shirley Muldowney as she heads into the finals of the Gatornationals against Don Garlits. Here is semifinal racing and funny car eliminator John Force will be in the near lane. The Chi-Town Hustler, number 2 qualifier Frank Hawley, certainly the class of the field thus far. He's been the only car in the 5s in eliminations. He's matched up against Fullerton, California's John Force. Who's going to win? Who knows? A very cautious staging by John Force, and there goes Hawley streaking off the starting line. Force trying to stay with him, but Hawley and the Chi-Town Hustler at the finish, 6.05, an incredible elapsed time as Frank Hawley moves into his first final round ever as the driver of the Chi-Town Hustler. Our final pair of cars in the semifinals of Funny Car, Paul Smith and the Entertainer, the fiberglass body being lowered down over the chassis as Tim Gross approaches the water, getting ready to heat up his tires in the burnout to see if he can make it into the finals against Frank Hawley. Side by side, Paul Smith and Tim Gross out of the burnout area as Steve's with Hawley.
Frank Hawley tells me he's not allowed to get out of the car. They'll fire him if he does. This is your first ever final round, and you gotta love it, but especially for Austin Coyle, who's been running Chi-Town Hustlers for 17 years.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that we both deserve it. I mean, the car's been running good for a long time, and, you know, we like coming to these races. You people do nice TV coverage. The event's organized well, and we like coming here, and it's nice to be in the final round.
Oh, yeah, especially when you race to eat.
Yeah, well, he told me that if we won for sure tonight, we could go have a hamburger or something like that.
I'll go with you.
I'll join you too, Steve, but Frank's got one problem. He's got to beat one of these racers. Either Paul Smith or Tim Gross will be in the final against Frank Hawley for the championship. The driver's trying to gain that little bit of advantage that'll pay off so big at the finish line. They're side by side as they leave the Christmas tree, but it is something going wrong with Paul Smith and Tim Gross. After working so hard to get his car back into shape, records a 6.48 seconds, but at this point, he doesn't care about lane choice. He's in the finals. As he heads back into the pits, there's a lot of action going on over to Don Garlits' pit area. You saw the smoke coming out of the engine, indicating some problems. The crew hard at work, with Don himself working side by side with his crew members. And you wonder how intense the rivalry is? Take a look at the scoreboard on the side of Don Garlits' trailer. Steve's over in Shirley Muldowney's pit area. See what he can find out.
When it comes to you and Garlits, head on head, there's more than money and a title at stake.
There's a lot of ego involved with both of us. I like to beat him because it's, for some reason, people think that it's prestigious to beat Big Daddy, and there are times when he's not running really good and he deserves to be beat.
Rate Don Garlits as a driver, starting line driver.
Off and on. I've seen him exceptionally good, and then I've seen him where I couldn't believe. I thought he was really late. But, we're all guilty of that one time or another, but I would call him marginal.
Well, one thing's clear, Steve. This is more than just a race for a championship. Between Shirley Muldowney and Don Garlits, it is a race of personalities. We'll be back at the Gatornationals with the professional finals in just a moment. I'm Dave McClelland along with Steve Evans, and we're joining a throng of spectators in the pit area watching the action at Frank Hawley's car. This is the Chi-Town Hustler, the team of Farconas, Coyle, and Minnick, with Frank Hawley, their new driver, and he is in the finals here at the Gatornationals. He'll be racing against a 30-year-old competitor now living in Saugus, California, Tim Gross. Gross has had problems all during this event. He broke the steering on one round, fixed it, and came back and earned his way into the finals. But before we get to the funny cars and Top Fuel, here is the all-important and long-awaited match between Lee Shepard and Frank Iaconio for the Pro Stock Championship. You remember Frank Iaconio said he thought Shepard and the Rare and Morrison team were having some problems. He says his Camaro loves this racetrack. Let's see, because in just a few short seconds, we'll know who's the Gator Nationals champion. Both cars leaving side by side. It could be anybody's race at this point. At the finish line, it's Lee Shepard pulling it out by just a fender length. Lee Shepard at a 7.88 second elapsed time.